trip was an excellent trip again. Each trip has their own unique features to them, and the kids all have different experiences based on, the different students that are there and the personalities that they bring. One of the big things that always stands out to me as positive on the trip is just the growth that you see the kids take. It takes about 10 to 12 days for the kids to really settle in, get used to being away from home, and at that point you really start to see them mature, become really strong leaders, willing to help out other students, really engaged, really comfortable, and you just start to see them go from children that you've worked with, some of them for years, to these young adults that are mature and responsible, and you're able to give them tasks and know that they're going to be able to accomplish them. Beginning of the trip is where I saw the most obstacles for the kids. That's the point where they're still getting used to being away from home. A lot of these kids have never traveled by themselves. They're halfway around the world. And also another big obstacle was the fact that we had really cold weather in New Zealand. We were having temperatures of 0 every night, but it was a really cold 0 because it was extremely humid. So everything was always covered in frost in the mornings. And we were doing a lot of outdoor activities, just getting up to 10, 12 degrees, and you're out rafting, you're out kayaking, so you're getting wet. So that was a challenge for the kids, just to have to adapt and get into this new environment and be extremely active in cooler weather. But they did a really good job persevering, and they all took part in all the activities and had a great time. With traveling, it's always something that you have to be flexible. And that was a really good lesson for the kids to learn, that just because we have something scheduled doesn't mean that we're going to be able to do it. You have to, in life, look at, is it safe? You're looking at that risk management, and you don't want to have an accident just because you have to do something. So we had several activities that we had to change. We were supposed to do Tongariro crossing, which was a 20-kilometer alpine crossing that takes about 8 hours, and we got snowed on, or we didn't. It snowed before we got there, so it became this very difficult task to a task that wasn't safe anymore. Some of the kids were really excited about doing it, and they weren't able to do it just because it went from a hike to we needing crampons and ice axes and being tied in. So they learned that lesson. We replaced it with cross-country mountain biking, and it was the best mountain biking that I've ever done in my life. The kids had a blast. It was beautiful forests that we were riding through, and it was one of the highlights of the trip. So, we were able to put in great new activities. The Great Ocean Road, our campsite was flooded, and the bridge to get across to that section was also flooded. So we had to, again, look at new opportunities, and we ended up doing a beautiful hike in Lorne instead, and came to these beautiful waterfalls and through these tropical forests. So all these changes that happened allowed us to have new opportunities, and they all turned out well. So it was a really great life lesson for kids, that you can be interested in doing something or really excited about doing something, but it doesn't mean you have to do it, and doesn't mean it's going to wreck the whole opportunity, that you just be flexible and you go with it. You really started to see the kids grow and them learn how to be young adults with dealing with situations. At the start of the trip, you still had kids that were upset by comments that kids were making, and you'd have those conversations of, well, do you need to be hanging out with those people? Do you need to deal with it in a different way? And how do you address the situation and be able to handle what is being said in a mature way? Also having those conversations with those kids of, is that appropriate? How is that affecting people? We're together 24/7, and you need to change your approach and grow with it. So I saw a really big change in the ability to handle it, the type of comments that were being made, and just the overall leadership and responsibility of the kids. It was, one of the most impressive parts of the trip, to see those kids become responsible and caring for each other. As always, the trips are a great experience. They're a great growing opportunity, and it really opens up the students' eyes to what opportunities are in the world. Every single day that we were on the trip, I had kids that were developing new passions. They were trying new activities that they'd never done, and they're coming away saying, I want to do this for a career. I want to be a raft guide. I want to be a climbing instructor. I want to lead tourists on caving trips. So as we went along, the kids were exposed to all these new opportunities that they saw as potential careers and things they would do in the rest of their life, and really opened their eyes to traveling and different cultures in different parts of the world. So they're just ready to get on a plane. So they've been back now for a couple days, and to quote one of them, they said, "Life's boring here. You know, you're looking for things to do." When we were there, it was just always some new opportunity, some new learning experience that we're taking part in, and they want to be doing that now. They're ready to go again. They came home, they saw their friends, and realized that there's a lot of things in the world, that you don't just have to live in this tiny box, that you can do anything in the world and you will be happy and you'll find people and you will chase your passions. My favorite experience of the trip was when we were at surf camp. We'd spent a couple days getting good, and we were sitting out past the green waves, so the unbroken waves. And as we're sitting out there, some dolphins started to surf the waves when we were out there. So that was really cool to see the dolphins. And then some more dolphins started popping up a little closer to us, about 100 feet away, and that was really cool. And then I looked down, and I've got this dark, about 7-8 foot, figure swimming under my surfboard, which, if I hadn't seen the dolphins a little bit earlier, would have really freaked me out, thinking, okay, is this a shark? But knowing that the area was full of dolphins, and that's what it was. And then just after that, a dolphin popped up 5 feet away from my surfboard, and just it's swimming right there. And that's so to be so close to nature and just have such a powerful connection with the environment was a really cool experience that it'll always stick with me.